Do you want to have tons of citrus fruits like you see on this Persian lime tree here? You need to adopt a feeding schedule, especially for potted plants. Plants need to eat just like people. So get yourself an all-purpose organic granular feed and feed your plants once a month. You're going to be super impressed with the results and have tons of fruits to share with your friends and family.
I'm going to give you my 5 top tips on how to grow a ton of lemons on just one lemon tree. Tip number 1, position. This is one of the most important things you can do when you're siting and planting a lemon tree, is to ensure that it's located in the right spot. Tip number 2, which is mulch. I mulch our lemon tree like crazy. I mean I don't continually mulch it every day or anything like that, but when I do put mulch down, I will lay it on thick, sometimes like a foot deep. And the reason for that is those fibrous root systems that I was talking about, they do love protection. And if you give it protection from the harsh sun or the cold weather through winter, and you keep that root system nice and cool and keep the moisture in by mulching deeply, well then that's going to give it more chance to suck up all those nutrients. Tip number 3, fertilise. Now you can do this in 2 ways. You can either use natural fertilisers like manures you get from your own animals, chicken, ducks, horses, or you can buy it from the stables and apply that to the tree, or you can use a commercial fertiliser, the granulated stuff that you get from the shop or from the nursery. Both are good and I've used both. I have to say personally I prefer using the commercial stuff. Tip number 4, water. Sounds pretty simple, but lemon trees do love a lot of water, and watering at the right time is vitally important if you want a lot of fruit. Tip number 5, and the final tip, pests and disease. Do the first 4 tips well, your tree will be strong enough and happy enough to deal with most pest and disease outbreaks. If you do find that there is a major infestation on your tree, try to find an organic way to get rid of it, either by picking off pests by hand or by pruning the tree back and getting rid of diseased leaves and branches. And in this video,
Yes, okay, I'll show you what I'm doing with my citrus trees right now. Currently I have them in the shed. Let's check on them. Okay, so this is my Meyer lemon tree and this is my lime tree, and I keep them in the shed when it's frosty out, but I let them get cold because that will help them set blooms for next year. If they get some cold and then you take them inside the house, they will set blooms again. My Meyer lemon, as you can see, is not very happy right now. I am not fertilizing through the colder months. If they dry out, I will water them. Otherwise, just let them be. I used to bring them inside. They would set blooms and then I would lose my little lemons on there. So I am not doing that this year. They're just hanging out in the shed and they have this giant bright light bulb to photosynthesize with. Anyway, hope that helps.
Tree, the first one that I got at the beginning of the summer last year, is quite the diva and has been really good to train me for exactly how to care for these guys. I missed my watering routine by like a day or two a couple of months ago, and it just decided to drop most of its leaves. So I learned the lesson of make sure to keep them watered. I've also learned that humidity and temperature are really important. I like to keep the garage around 60 degrees. They say you don't want them to get below 40. So I've gotten these little monitors on Amazon that I absolutely swear by now. They're they're magnetic, and they also have a little stand. You can get them like 4 to a pack on Amazon. I have them like everywhere in my house now. Also, cold induces blooming. So sometimes, when it's not too cold, I will open up the garage, and that has been good to help these blooms set. You can see that this whole branch is full of them. That one is too. We'll see if they actually produce. The original 8 little limes that I had on this branch, I'm down to 2. And I've read that a lime tree this young may or may not produce them to full maturity. So we will see. This has been a fun journey for me learning. And I'm really excited that I have this guy that is a lot older, because I'm thinking that these will definitely produce a mature lime.
Three steps to get a lime tree to produce fruits. If your lemon or lime tree, stop producing flowers or fruits, you might want to check if they are having insect issues. And this is what happening to our lime tree. There are a lot of mealybugs are being, are attacking this poor plant. So as you see over here, all of them, are undersized of the leaves. So first steps, you are going to trim all of these unhealthy branches away. Okay, and then we apply pesticide. For pesticide, I have this natural pesticide set with ginger, chili, and garlic solutions. Okay, just 1 teaspoon to about 300 ml water with a little bit of cooking oil. You can apply to entire plants. Okay, leaf, stems, roots into the soil, and after that we are going to give them fertilizer. I have this combo fertilizer which proven very effective to produce flowers, healthy stems, leaves and shoots lah. So you can give it a try. Just 1 teaspoon of biofertilizer with a little bit of fish fertilizer and enzyme protect. Okay, about 1 month later you will see your plant starts to flower and fruit again. If you want these sets, you can click on the card over here and give it a try.
Hey guys, I'm out here in my backyard and I'm kind of excited. Let me show you what I'm gonna do. I bought, some tree spikes, and these spikes are specifically for fruits and trees, and you spike them a little bit away from the roots, and it's supposed to help the roots grow faster. And I'm gonna use it for my lime and my lemon over there. This year my lime grew me 1 lime, maybe it's gonna give me more. Lemon not so much, so I'm going to put the spikes in. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clear some rocks near the dripper over here and then put the spike in. Here 1 goes, and I got 7 more here. Now the normal process would be to just put the spike on the floor and pound it in, but I know that I'm working with some really hard gravel here in Vegas. So I got my prior tool over here and my mallet, and I'm gonna have to dig a little hole, then put that in. But first, let me clear out some space over there. So I cleared out a little space, and it doesn't look too bad, so I'm gonna put it right where this little hole is. I'm gonna put 1 here and 1 there, going away from the wall so the roots come this way. So I'm just gonna use 2 spikes for this tree, 2 spikes for that tree. That wasn't hard at all. You see the spike over here? I just hit it in. It kind of bruised it a little bit, but hopefully the dogs don't eat this up. And then all I'm gonna do, see, I hit it with this thing, cover it like that. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna do 1 spike for now, because I don't want this tree to get over fertilized. So let's see what happens with 1. second tree, lemon tree. Let's put that in there. Give it a couple of good whacks. Spikes are pretty tough, tougher than I thought they would be. And there she goes. She's in there, right there. So, okay, wish me luck. I cover her up. Hopefully I didn't disturb anything here. And hopefully the dogs don't try to dig her up, but all right. I got my lemon tree and my lime tree. It's got me one lime. They bloom twice a year, so maybe in my next bloom, or the lime will give me more, and maybe the lemon will give me some. So I can't wait. I'm making my own cleaner out of lemon and lime rinds, so this would help out tremendously. All right.
Now that my lime plant is flowering, I give the plant fertilizer every 2 weeks to encourage fruit. 1 to 8 urine and compost tea to water. Be gentle as they're delicate and can fall.
Just a few quick tips when it comes to growing a healthy lemon tree. You want to ensure that you plant the tree in a location where it's not shaded out by any tall buildings or trees, as it requires a minimum of 5 to 6 hours of sunlight every single day. As we come along here, you can see some of these leaves are a bit pale yellow. This is caused by magnesium deficiency, and we can fix that simply by spraying them with a magnesium spray onto the leaves, and the tree will absorb that in. Also, lemon trees are very hungry trees, so you need to feed them regularly with a liquid fertilizer or a pelletized fertilizer. I use comfrey tea. There's a link in one of my videos on how to make this. And a lot of people have also said that they pee on their lemon trees. I don't do this, but if it works for you, then let me know in the comment section and maybe we can start trying it. And when it comes to pruning your lemon tree, there's not a lot you have to do. This is an evergreen tree, so it won't drop its leaves. The main thing I do is keep a lot of airflow through the center of the tree, as you can see here, just to avoid any disease. And when it does come to pruning, I mainly just cut off any bits of dead or diseased wood or branches that are rubbing together. As you can see, it's pretty clean through here, and that'll stop the spread of any disease on your tree. I hope you found this helpful.
How to care for citrus trees over winter. It's autumn, and so the nighttime temperatures are starting to drop, so if you've had citrus trees outside in summer, it might be time to bring them in.
In winter, citrus trees fare best in a cool, frost-proof position in as much sunlight as possible. A cool conservatory or greenhouse would be ideal with a minimum night temperature of 10 degrees centigrade or 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
If you're bringing them into your house, try and find somewhere that's free from drafts and away from radiators, especially underfloor heating. Find somewhere that has reasonably consistent temperature. Centrally heated rooms are often too hot and too dry. Water sparingly in winter. A good soaking once a month is normally fine, and that is much better than little and often.
Did you know you can grow a lemon tree in a pot? Grab a lemon from the store and take out a few seeds. Remove the pulp, then soak them in a bowl of water for at least an hour. Then place the seeds on a wet paper towel. Fold it a few times and place it in a Ziploc bag. In about 5 to 7 days, the seeds will root. Plant them tail down into a pot with soil. Keep the soil moist and it'll grow into a seedling. Then mist it with chamomile tea 3-4 times a week to encourage the growth. Then cover it with a plastic bottle or a mason jar to create humidity and protect it from bugs and insects. Provide it with nutrients, keep taking care of it, transplant it when it gets about 12 inches long, and then boom, you'll have a lemon tree in no time. Look at these cute little lemons growing already. We'll start growing a lemon tree.
If your citrus trees are coming out of winter with yellow leaves, try this. I've been watering once a week with half-strength fertilizer. The leaves are more green and the trees are setting fruit. At the nursery and at home we use Romeo fertilizer. In this case, I'll use 1 tablespoon per gallon of water. You can also use organic fertilizer, but the process takes a little longer. With Romeo, you can mix and use it right away. So once a week, try fertilizing with half-strength fertilizer. For this tree, I'll use about a half a gallon. If I need to water again this week, I'll just use water. Let me know if this worked for you.
Repotting a lime tree. Dig a hole. Cut the bottom of the bag off. Put the tree in the pot and water well. In about a month, you can remove the top of the bag.
Here's a lime tree that I've had for 1 year that's been growing in this container. Recently I noticed that the roots are poking out a bit and the soil has sunken quite substantially since I first got it. Young citrus trees can either be potted up once a year or once every 2 years. The tree is looking pretty healthy, so I'm going to leave it as is for another year, but I will top it up with soil, also covering that root that's exposed, and I'll be using the citrus and fruit soil. After adding the new soil, I gave it a really good deep watering and getting the tree ready for spring and summer.